This whole Zidane and Bale thing's becoming a bit of a palaver, to put it softly. It's one of the biggest stories in world football now, really, so I thought I'd give my thoughts on it because it's been quite interesting reading the things coming out about it. Obviously, Zidane and Bale aren't the best of friends. That's been evident for quite some time. But the way the media's been going about it lately just shows that it's really heating up at the minute. Now, Zidane obviously is a legend within world football. He's a legend to Real Madrid as well, and you can't really detract from the kind of career he has had. But equally could be said, I guess in the modern day we don't rate Bale in the same sort of standard, but he is still world class, and his actual record at Real Madrid is better. So these two are sort of icons of the game. Obviously, a lot of people will class Zidane as a higher ranking just because of age and history, but they are both significant figures in the game, working together at the minute and having a bit of a pop at each other, even though it does seem like a lot of the popping is coming from Zidane in the media. So Zidane came out and said he's not in the squad because he's working on a departure, that's why he's not playing. Then he basically said that he hopes he goes for everyone's sake, it's what's best for everybody, completely shutting him out there. Obviously that's not a nice thing to say about a player, especially one who scores an overhead kick in a Champions League final like that. I don't know why you're pushing him out the door, mate. Zidane then added that it's nothing personal and that there's a time that things come because they need to be done. I mean, this caused a lot, and I mean a lot, of backlash. Like, there's a reason I'm creating this video. There's a reason it's in many articles. It's because everyone is talking about little bits of this story, different opinion pieces on it. One of the big things to come out was Bale's agent says that Zidane has no respect, he's completely disrespecting the world-class ability of Bale, and to be fair, I kind of can see where he's coming from there. The statements didn't seem to have much respect towards what the player's been doing in the past at Real. The BBC actually reported about 4 hours ago that Zidane's come out recently, as in today, the time of recording this video, you're probably seeing this the day after, saying that he didn't show disrespect towards anybody, and tried to sort of backtrack on it, say what I said the other day, that Bale's team are working on an exit from the club, which is fair. He did say that, but that's not the whole story, is it, Zidane? He then went on to say that Gareth apparently didn't come on against Bayern Munich because he requested not to, and that was because the club was working on his exit. Fair enough, right? If you're leaving a squad, you don't want to get injured, you don't want to give yourself any risk of getting injured if you are leaving, but it's just weird that he wouldn't say that on the day, because it's clear that Zidane doesn't care about respecting his players, and I guess protecting his players is the better way to say that. In terms of Bale, he doesn't really care about protecting him from the media if he's going to say that he basically wants him out the door. So it doesn't really make sense why he wouldn't say that at the time. It's all a bit weird. Is Zidane perhaps a bit threatened by Bale? The fact that obviously in the modern era, Bale's come in and actually on paper, he's done a lot better for Real than Zidane did, despite Zidane being a legend. You'd think a legend wouldn't have that sort of fragile ego, but you never know. In a similar amount of games, Bale scored double the goals. Yes, they are different positions. It is easier to score a goal as a winger than Zidane's position, obviously a bit more from the midfield. However, double the goals, similar amount of games, that's going to creep up on you. That's going to make you think, ooh. And Bale's got 14 trophies as to Zidane's 6 with Real. So the record's there. Why are you pushing this player out the door? Is it for fragile ego reasons? Do you just not like him? Has he slept with your wife? Nobody knows. This has obviously been going on for a little while. When Bale was benched in that Champions League final against Liverpool, and then he comes on and scores that goal, that incredible overhead kick, pretty much getting that title for Real that time. You'd think that Zidane would sit back there and go, do you know what? He's just come on and shown me what he can do. I'll respect him a little bit more now. But he hasn't. It's not happened. Zidane obviously left the club, which is where I was thinking that maybe Bale will come in and really cement himself. Now Ronaldo's gone as well. Real have obviously been struggling. Let's build this team around Bale. Bale is quality. And they have obviously got quality other players than Real Madrid. But Bale is up there. And I don't understand. I just don't understand why Zidane's so against him. So obviously he's come back now. And that's pretty much said from the start. Soon as Zidane comes back, Bale's off, you know, but he's not. And he said that he's happy to sit and collect his wages. I would be too if I was on a 600 grand a week contract. Obviously, you put tax into that and it's like 350 grand, but still, that is a stupid amount of money. And that is what we've got in the modern game at the minute. You can push Bale all you want, Zidane, but if the club are going to give him these extended contracts to keep him there, don't be surprised when he decides, no, you know what? I'm in a gorgeous city. I'm at one of the best clubs in world football. I'm on this massive amount of money. I'm going to sit and play golf. I'll turn up. I'll do my job. I'll play. I'll come for training. If you want me to play, I'll play. I want to play for this club. Just because you don't want me here, Zidane, I'll stay. I actually respect him for that. Obviously, if he's refusing to play, that's when it becomes a little bit of an issue. That's when it's like, this is disrespectful now. But nothing I have really seen has led me to think that Bale is that kind of player. His agents made it quite clear that he's not going out on loan, which is obviously something that we've known for quite some time now. That's not really breaking news, but a player like him shouldn't have to go out on loan. You know, he can sit there and wait for a big money move as far as I'm concerned. I don't think Real Madrid should have given him that massive a contract if they are not expecting some players. They need to stop it. These huge clubs that have got massive influence need to stop giving these ridiculously long, high-earning contracts to players without the relative clauses in them and all these bonuses. If they are not protecting themselves, this had to happen eventually. This had to happen to a club. And it's happening to Real because Zidane just doesn't like Bale, but he's got this contract. And part of me is glad to see it. I'm glad to see a player just going, no, do you know what? I'm here, I want to play for this club. You've given me this contract. And some people might disagree with me there, but I think we need to stop throwing money at the game as much, and things like this won't happen. But that is never going to happen. So it is interesting to see all this play out. So he's not going on loan. There is talks of China. Apparently something like a stupid contract of like £1 million a week. £1 million a week to go and play in China. That'd be ridiculous. I'd lose a lot of respect for Bale if he did that, because I think it's actually better to sit at Real, which is a club that you want to play at, than not really care about playing in the Chinese league but pick up the money. I'd respect him in terms of monetary value, but in terms of actual playing ambition, I can understand why players will sit there at a club, because managers don't always last as long as the players. So if he thinks he can break back into that team, sit at it. Obviously his contract runs out, is it next year or the year after, so it's not that long, and Real will want to make some money on him if Zidane's sticking around and they're not keeping him. They'll want to obviously ship him off for some money. But it's got to be right for all parties, and it's an interesting one. I do think Zidane has been a bit disrespectful in his treatment of Bale. Not specifically just in this instance. This was a bit dodgy, yeah. But overall, really, after he comes on and does that for you, after he's a very good player, you lose Ronaldo. Why isn't he using Bale more? Why does he want Bale out the door? I don't know. I'm looking at it in terms of football perspective here. Obviously, things can go on behind the scenes, but in terms of players out there, there's only a few, and Real would have to pay a lot of money for them that could do what Bale does. It'll be interesting to see where Bale ends up, obviously, because he's linked with moves to the Premier League as well. Will a Premier League club be able to afford him? That is the question. Obviously, we've had some big money moves in that league, but there's only a few that could really afford a player that will be sort of able to pay the price tag that comes with a player like Bale. I'd love to see him back in the Premier League, to be fair. It'd be good to see if he could still tear it up, because he is one of the brightest British talents, and obviously he is coming towards the end of his prime years now. Obviously, unless he keeps the fitness levels of Ronaldo, he doesn't have that long left. So it would be nice to see him back in the Premier League doing bits and being on Match of the Day every week. Man United are apparently keen. Spurs are apparently keen on a return for him. I don't think a club like Man City would be the right fit. Plus, they've just got absolute wealth. Liverpool's apparently a strong rumour, but where would he fit into that Liverpool team? Someone's going to suffer. And that Liverpool team are strong. Obviously, Bale would be a great player to bring into any Premier League club, to be honest. But do Liverpool need him? That'd probably be the best one to watch, actually. I'd love to watch that. See how Liverpool fit him in, see who suffers in that regard, and would he be able to push him on for that much needed and much desired Premier League win? But yeah, I think this whole thing is just a prime example of modern football at the minute. Big money contracts, big sort of press involvement, making the whole thing blow out of proportion. But we know Bale's quality, we know Zidane's a legend. Obviously, there's bad blood there. This situation isn't going to end really with Bale playing for Real Madrid by the looks of it. So what's next for Bale? Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Obviously, this is a big talking point at the minute. Do you think Zidane was being disrespectful with his recent remarks? Obviously, actually, I think they're playing tonight, Real. So this could all change tonight because they're playing Arsenal tonight, I think. So that'll be interesting. By the time you see this video, this was last night. So if something's happened, let's have a discussion in the comments. But if not, all your thoughts on what's been said on this video, this whole situation is an interesting one, as I have said quite a few times in this video. Is there something else you'd like me to talk about, guys? Obviously, I'm looking for bits in the media at the minute that are interesting to me, stories I've been following, giving my opinion, my take on them. But feel free to get any of your suggestions in the comments and I will have a look. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on Dexterity Box.